While I like the sonic qualities of this new Mogwai album, a very gorgeous and serene and shimmering sound that Mogwai adapt, and stylistically congruent to the sound of some of their more soothing tunes like Take Me Somewhere Nice, a very beautiful, inspiring post-rock song whose emotional potency is rivaled by its own comment section on YouTube. My primary and personally preferred experience with Mogwai, however, lies with their heavier, more pummeling rock albums such as Young Team, or even one of their more recent albums like Hardcore Will Never Die But You Will, where the colossal scope of the music was quite awe-inspiring. But not only that, I just felt there was just this amazing sense of urgency, and the incorporation of electronics has been intriguing and even culminated in their best albums. So in the third wave post-rock field, it kind of separates them from their peers, who kind of may seem a little more derivative and bland in comparison. I like plenty of songs on Every Country's Son, but I don't think it's Mogwai doing anything spectacularly new, unfortunately, and I don't just mean that for Mogwai, I just mean like in general. You have this ambient based rock album that's actually very tepid a lot of the time. The sound is enjoyable, like maybe as background music, but if you're just listening to it as like a record, it does grow old very quick, and there's no reason why you couldn't check out a whole load of other albums in this field which are so much more dynamic and interesting and just consistently more engaging, as well as have a sense of urgency to them. I will say that I did love the lead single Party in the Dark, which features some singing vocals. I didn't even mind that the vocals were soaked in reverb effects. It was actually cool to hear because it was almost like the voices of a past memory suddenly coming back to you, or maybe even like the singing voices of ghosts. I see everything. The song itself is beautiful, and the gleaming synth melodies that kind of sparkle in after every chorus, as well as the glockenspiel that chimes in towards the end. Impeccable. Impeccable. I guess what I wish this album had more of was that sense of urgency that drives it forwards and just makes things tense. Because I won't lie, with the exception of the very immediate and intense Old Poisons, this album is very slow and subdued and predictable. With its occasional crescendos, mind you, but a lot of modern post-rock has just been crescendo, 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 and a lack of actual shaping of these big moments to form anything particularly emotionally grabbing. It's just like so many tracks here just take the formula of the start having this calm, serene moment, and then during the last minute, blossoming like a flower. A very big, gigantic flower. Sure, the sounds on this album are beautiful. I noticed there's this certain timbre used on the record that sounds almost like strings, but they've been soaked in reverb. They kind of help to radiate this gleaming, serene atmosphere. And the drumming can be superb as well, especially on Brain Sweeties, where it's so dynamic. It's booming. That, and I thought the theremin on Crossing the Road was a nice touch, and the last moments of Don't Believe the Fife are an awesome, very heavy rock crescendo that doesn't, like, lack any sort of punch to it. There is like this crunchiness that I love. And the thing is, with all these potent and nice sounding yet merely occasional ideas at their disposal, it hurts even more that Mogwai didn't really do that much with them, or didn't really do enough with them. It didn't feel like there was much of a story or a progression being made on this mostly instrumental album. Even Mogwai's last album, which was really just a reworked soundtrack, was more conceptually intriguing. Not that they always have to spoon-feed you this narrative to follow around all the time like a horny spaniel, but you can usually infer a story from the way that the music sounds and progresses and is shaped. And here, it's hard to imagine that happening when the music itself isn't that imaginative to begin with. 5 out of 10.